Hello, everyone. So yeah, I'd like to thank all of the unaffiliated shareholders that voted in favor of the transaction by an overwhelming margin. So I think your faith will be rewarded. It's really going to be, I think, some amazing stuff that comes out. In fact, I was just meeting with earlier today, meeting with the SolarCity engineering team, and I don't want to 100% commit to this yet, but it's looking quite promising that a solar roof will actually cost less than a normal roof before you even take the value of electricity into account. So the basic proposition would be, would you like a roof that looks better than a normal roof, lasts twice as long, costs less, and, by the way, generates electricity? It's like, why would you get anything else? Maybe there's a reason, I'm not sure why, but anyways, that's really looking really promising, and I think there's even room for improvement beyond there. So very excited about where things are going to go with the solar roof, integrated with the power wall, and with the obviously with electric cars. So with that, let's go to questions. The questions, I think, should appear on the screen. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll have to read them or something. Should we? Okay, thanks. Yeah? Okay. So apparently there's a new political landscape. And I'm not sure what people are referring to, but yeah, something. I think one of the biggest misunderstandings about Tesla, and somewhat counterintuitive, is the degree to which Tesla is reliant upon incentives or subsidies. Ironically, if all incentives and subsidies were removed for Tesla's competitive position would increase, not decrease. This is a really fundamental misunderstanding. We do believe there should be incentives and government incentives for electric vehicles, but we believe that they should be there for the good of the industry and to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport, not because Tesla needs them. Let me explain what I mean by this. The incentives either don't scale or they're disadvantageous. If you take the zero-emission vehicle credit, where you get $5,000, it's a nominal value of $5,000 per credit, and let's say you might get, say two of those per vehicle or three. So two would be worth $10,000 face value, but Tesla can only sell them to other car companies for about 50 cents on the dollar. Because the ZEV mandate is very weak, we only get 50 cents on the dollar. However, if General Motors or Ford or somebody else makes an electric vehicle, they get to monetize their ZEV credit at 100 cents on the dollar. So if there's, say, two ZEV credits per vehicle, General Motors would have a $5,000 cost advantage over Tesla. They do, not would have, they do have. So if people are concerned about Tesla and incentives, they should be concerned, well, how does Tesla overcome the competitive disadvantage of EV incentives? Not the other way around. There's also the $7,500 federal tax credit, but that stops at a cumulative 250,000 vehicles. So it's essentially irrelevant for any high-volume program. As soon as we stop making 500,000 or 1 million vehicles per year, that $250K cumulative will long ago have run out. So no scale. It's impossible to scale electric vehicles and have the incentive be relevant. And then, ironically, in California, they put an income cap on the $2,500 incentive. So many of our customers don't even qualify for the $2,500 incentive because of the income cap, which I think is really quite destructive, since and doesn't make any sense to me because we're the only car company left in California. It's like Tesla is the biggest manufacturer in California. So I don't understand why the legislature would do such a thing. That's ultimately to the detriment of its own state. Anyway, these things are puzzling. And then if you look internationally, in China, which is the world's biggest car market, we currently pay 25% import duty, and we have no access to incentives because our car is not locally made. The net effect is that our car costs 40% more than a locally made vehicle. So if we made the vehicle locally, it'd be a 40% difference. So not only do we not have access to incentives, we have a huge penalty. Looking at other parts of the world, Germany put a 60,000 euro cap on the incentives, conveniently just below the Tesla, cost of a Tesla in Europe, or just above it. Yeah, just below. So essentially, it's very, very difficult for us to get access to any incentives in Germany. Denmark did the same thing. France is considering doing the same thing. So the great irony is that if all the incentives just went to zero, Tesla's competitive position would immediately improve by quite significantly. We don't think that that's a good thing for the world, but it would be a good thing for Tesla. I think that's a pretty important thing to consider. So, let's say the new president did erase all incentives, that Tesla's competitive position would just be better. So that's actually what would happen. So, who owns the technology for the new solar roof? Technology is, it's owned by us. Sorry. This was almost entirely developed by Tesla and SolarCity. Well, mostly by SolarCity, some by Tesla, and then we may or may not use a film from 3M, but the use of the film in a particular application that we're talking about was, something that we came up with. But call it, 90% plus of the technology is owned by a combined company. Sort of partially answered this question. So we expect to start doing the solar roofs in volume in summer next year. So we'll roll out. There's 4 main types. If you saw the rollout, and we'll roll them out one at a time. So we'll start off probably in like 3-month intervals. Start with the one that appears to be the most popular, and then roll each new variant out roughly on 3-month cycles from summer next year. And the cost will obviously vary according to the size of the house and the difficulty of the installation. But the important thing is that the apples-to-apples comparison compared to a regular roof, we're confident will be at least at, and we believe slightly below, the cost of a regular roof. And then the electricity is just a bonus. Well, to touch on this question more than a few times, we're trying to make an integrated product. So you have an integrated solar roof with a power wall and an electric car. And you can just go into a Tesla store, just say yes, it just happens, it all works, it's seamless, and you love it. Thoughts on new competitors? Well, it's certainly encouraging to see other car makers do electric cars. I am a little concerned about the pace and volume of what they're doing, since they seem to be mostly aiming to just target whatever the incentive threshold is, and then not really do serious volume beyond that. As I said a moment ago, the incentives don't scale with volume. So the major manufacturers are not, from what we see, maybe with the exception of what Volkswagen says they're going to do, none of the competitors are planning to do serious volume in electric vehicles yet. That they're just sized to stay within the volume constraints of the incentives. I think this is like the Chevrolet Bolt with a B is, I think, they're aiming for like 20 to 30,000 cars a year, but really a car like that should be 300,000 to 500,000 per year for it to really make a difference. I'm not sure I understand this question. Model 3, I think, Model 3 from the beginning we said free charging is not included in the in the Model 3, or not free unlimited charging is not included. So free long distance is, but not free local. It's just, it becomes really unwieldy for people to use the gas station approach for electric cars. Electric cars should really be charged where you charge your phone, but then you just need to solve the long distance problem, which is what the supercharger stations will do. Were you answered? All right.